Anyone else for general public input?
My name is Chad Bishop. I live at 7405 South Valencia Drive here in Sioux Falls. Our neighbors, our friends, our families, jobs and livelihoods are now being threatened because of what has been termed their vaccine hesitancy. It is no longer just internal policy at a single healthcare provider. It purportedly now has the force of law enacted through regulation by this federal executive. First, a question: in our history as a country, have we ever seen unjust, immoral, or unethical policies enforced by law? The Argus Leader on August 10th of this year published an article informing the public that this body had approved a $50,000 study on COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy that will be performed by Augustana University. It goes on to inform us that Dr. Chima believes this study will help to determine why vaccination rates have stalled in the city. I'd like to offer some input into this study. It is possible that the vaccine hesitant remember the early missteps in communication by the unelected bureaucrat, Dr. Fauci, regarding the efficacy of masks at the beginning of the pandemic. Perhaps they remember the change in the guidance last year and the purported reasons. A noble lie is still a lie. Maybe they have even read the most recent updated guidance acknowledging the spread of aerosol by aerosol and understand that if it isn't an N95 mask, properly fitted, properly worn, properly cleaned and maintained, the benefit is negligible. Just in this one policy, there have been several changes that have inspired neither credibility nor confidence. Perhaps the vaccine hesitant understand what Stanford's John Ioannidis means when he talks about risk stratification. 10,000 to 1, from the 80-year-old obese diabetic to the metabolically healthy 10-year-old. Is it possible that the vaccine hesitant paid attention to the cynical political rhetoric during last year's election cycle? We all sat through an entire political season during the height of the pandemic where politicians, political pundits, and talking heads not only questioned the timeline for Operation Warp Speed, but they also questioned the efficacy and the safety of the vaccines being developed under that program. The purported concern was undue political influence upon the approval process. Is it possible that the hesitant listened to this rhetoric that was meant to win an election? Perhaps the vaccine hesitant watched two of the most senior FDA vaccine leaders step down a month ago. Ironically, it is purportedly because of the politicization of the booster shot approval process. The Lancet then published their views. Maybe the hesitant believe they are immune and have COVID-19 recovered person status, either because they had hallmark symptoms, someone in their household confirmed as positive, a positive PCR, a positive antibody, or T-cell response assay. Even professional athletes like Jonathan Isaac are able to voice both credible and reasonable objections, especially for the COVID-19 recovered persons, to explain their hesitancy. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else for general public input?